Jenna, can you play another cornet? And instead of oboe, can you also play cornet? So cornet 1, 2, 3. Okay, another cue. Hope you guys are all ready. Cornet 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. First run through. In terms of the macro pulse, I will be taking that at 3-2. So can we go to letter Q? And the first thing I want to hear is the woodwinds. You're kind of rushing the rhythm at 1, 2, 3 after Q. And it happens again 7 after Q. So can we start at Q and make sure you're doing, like, don't syncopate at the third bar. So it's da 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 da. So it's not da 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 da. So make sure you are not too early on the fourth beat. So I'll cue woodwinds if you have the main melody. Da 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 da. Make sure it comes on beat 4. Let's try that again. Yeah, that was better. That was better. Heather, can you play out a bit? Okay. All right. So can I hear everyone at letter Q? You guys are playing alto, right? Yes. All right, you guys too. At the 2-4 bar, make sure that you're not dragging, so keep it along. So at letter Q. Just listen across. You guys listen to them. I want more of the horn song right there. Okay, also, we have something else going on with the cornets and percussion. So I'm going to have them play at letter Q, and I want the whole band to listen to what they have. I'm going to ask you a couple questions after. Ready? So can anyone raise their hand and tell me exactly what that kind of serves in the music? Yeah, so it's like a metronome. So you're going to be listening to them for the pulse, so they have the rhythmic pulse of the piece. So at every single time, you know, when we go into the macro pulse, they continue to have that. So make sure that you're listening to them because they drive the beat. All right, can we start at R in the macro pulse? And I want you guys to be listening across the band, listen to all the parts and how they come together, and listen for balance, okay? 1, 2, ready, and. You have that solely, so really come out of the texture and play forte. Okay. Can we start 2 bars before the 2-2? 1, 2, ready, and. Much better. Can I hear the horns and the alto saxes once again? I want to hear you guys separately just for intonation issues. 1 before the 2-2. 1, 2, ready, and. That was really good. Now let's start back at R, and I want to hear the bum bum bum. I want to hear that go through the line. Okay, so tubas, baritone, and trombone. You guys have that together. So just listen to each other and make that one line moving together. So we are going to start at letter R. 1, 2, ready, and. Separately. I want to just check and make sure you guys are accenting those. I want to hear more of the second note, so baritone. Play that louder. We're going to start at R. 1, 2, ready, and. Your part with them to keep as the metronome. So you're going to be listening to him while he plays that. Cornets, you can join it too. Yeah, that's good. I really want you guys to focus on accenting that, and I want it to be big. So I want that part to come out at letter R because that's something new that we want our ears to go to. So can everybody start at the 4/4 after Q? So the first 4/4. In terms of the pulse, I don't know if it's my fault, it probably was, but let's keep it moving, so just remember to listen back to this metronome, especially when we go into that macro pulse. Just keep moving through it. You guys, that sounded really good. So.
All right, good. Yay, Nikki. How do you feel about Nikki?
I think it went pretty well.
Yeah?
I mean, I'm sure there are a couple things I would change about it, but...
Okay, like what?
I don't know, in terms of my conducting, I could have shown more. I think I was the reason for dragging a couple of the times. I don't know.
Okay, great. Ensemble. What do you got for Nikki?
I liked how when you didn't like something, you stopped and addressed it right away instead of continuously letting us do it wrong.
I think you did a really good job breaking things down, taking pieces and separating what's wrong and fixing it.
I think you did a good job doing like what Dr. Neal told us on Monday, letting us have a crack at trying to fix something before you like fix it. Because you'd be like, okay, fix this, and then do it, and then you would break it down.
I like that you had an idea, like you knew what sounds that you wanted, especially like when you had an opera sound part, you knew you wanted a horn sound.
Yeah, I like that you were very direct with us. You know, you told us things that you thought sounded good, told us things you thought craziest were. I feel like you talked about information issues a lot, but didn't really do anything about them. Rather than that, that's really good.
Anybody else? All right. So, Nikki, I agree with what they were saying. I think you did really well. I thought you broke things down in at the appropriate time and at the appropriate level, and you used the metronome underneath to kind of help drive things forward. I have a couple of questions, actually comments for the ensemble. Look at your score, everybody, at rehearsal R. So I've said before, you may have heard me say before in rehearsals, I feel like the composer may have made a mistake. I think the composer made a mistake with something at letter R. Any idea what that might be? Look at the trombone, euphonium, tuba. Anything about that not quite jive? Oh, it could be.
Is it the baritones at fortissimo?
No, it could be my weird score. Angela, good point. Let me see. Nope, it's not my weird score. Look at the articulation markings, everyone. Accent, accent, legato. Yeah, that's weird, right? Why would, I mean, you always have to, if you see something like that, my first question is, why would the composer do that? Not, well, he's wrong. I would say, why would the composer do that? And if I can't come up with a really compelling reason, then I think, well, maybe he just missed it in editing. I mean, it's possible. But maybe there's a reason. Can anyone think of a reason why we want boom, boom, ee? See, to me, it's boom, boom, bee, right? That's how it is to me. So if you notice something like that, feel free to say, as the conductor, you know what, I know it says you've got a legato marking on that, but could you go ahead and put an accent on it? I just feel like it needs to be a little more punctuated than what he's writing. And you kind of sort of said it, but you didn't specifically address the trombone part. You said, can that all be a little more accented? Did you guys remember that? She said that? So you might have to say to them, I know what you're looking at, and I'm telling you, don't do what you're looking at. Do something different. Because they're going, accented, what? And high school kids aren't going to raise their hand and say that.
Yeah.
These guys might. But that's one little thing I noticed, but that wasn't you. That's just a comment for the class. I think you did a good job addressing pitch. I agree that you are the one who's kind of conducting on the backside of the pulse and the macro, which is why it's slowing down. So you just need to conduct a little bit further ahead. And one other comment for you. What was it? You were really specific with rhythm 3 after Q in the upper woodwinds, which I thought was awesome. I like that you had a really good idea of balance, like what you wanted. Can you start at letter Q? And when you jump into letter R, conduct further ahead. And it especially got slower at the 2-2 after R.
Okay.
So conduct further ahead.
Okay.
And kind of keep an eye back here, and I'll show you how far ahead you need to be if you're not far enough ahead. Okay? Letter Q.
Gotcha. 1, 2, ready, and.
Kind of locked in. Yeah, so as you're the conductor, keep the pulse in mind all the time, that underlying metronome. You can't just have them do it, you have to do it as the conductor as well. And then just kind of be comfortable with how far ahead you have to be. Just for your own information, everyone, if the composer says, like, at letter R, the meter says 3-2, and before that it's 4-4, or 2-4, depending on those little interjection measures of 2-4, you can go into 2 before that, or into macro pulse if you feel like it. You don't have to do the pulse that the composer writes. You can do your own thing. I go into 2 at Q when I'm conducting this. And I do the 2-4 measures in 1. So I go ba-da-da, or sorry, ba-da-dum, ba-da-dum, ba-da-da-dum, ba-da-da-da-dee-da-dum. That's how I conduct it, because that's how I think it goes. That is going to keep it moving if you conduct far enough ahead. Okay? Nikki, really good job.